and find your way onto the back of your body in the most comfortable position for you. And that might take a couple of moments, and that's all right. We've got plenty of time. And you might close the eyes or just have almost a hazy gaze up towards the sky. As you settle, you might take a deeper breath, breathing in through the nose and maybe just sighing or blowing out. So give yourself the space that you need with your physical body. Allow your breath to be nice and free, especially during kind of more still and stretchy practice. You might find that your breath is a little bit longer or deeper, or there's sighs that come up, and that is all absolutely fine. And maybe just take stock of anything that is instantly in the mind. If you had a little search, or you might be lay there and just kind of mulling something over and thinking about something. It might be from the past, maybe it's from the future. Our concern is the present moment. So if there is anything in the mind, just give it a little bit of space and time as we arrive. Can sometimes be a good exercise or a good practice just to notice, is that from the past? So, am I bringing something from the past into the present? Maybe I could just leave it in the past, even just for an hour. Is it from the future? So therefore we don't actually really know. Is it something that's useful for you to be thinking about or mulling over? Is it even truthful? Because, the mind can construct all sorts of stories and narratives, and they're not always truthful. And you could use a little mantra like, I am here, I am present. Just to remind yourself that for the next hour, this is time for you. And we want to be as present as we can. Let's draw awareness back to our breath, where you can feel the breath in the body. Breathing in through the nose if you can, and out through nose or mouth. Like I said before, you might find that you sigh or blow out during the practice, and that's fine. Noticing whether your inhalation and exhalation is the same length, the same depth. It may be, it may not be. And just feeling a sense of kind of lift and lightness with the breaths in, and then a sense of soften and release with your breaths out. So that will be useful for the practice. Breath in is generally kind of preparing or where we find space. Breath out is shifting into that space or softening down. Come to your body, and what do you notice about your body? So you might instantly be drawn to a part or area of your body. Maybe something that feels tighter, a little bit more tense, or could be the opposite, and you feel like, oh, my body feels quite nice and relaxed now. So just practice a little bit of observation with your body. Okay, if your body is tired or if energetically you feel like, oh, it's the end of the week and oh, it's just been a week, you can do as much or little as you wish. So even if you use this space to just kind of be here, lay down, soften, breathe, that is fine. Let's start to bring a little bit of movement into the face. So you might lift and lower the eyebrows. You might blink the eyes open and closed. You could even bring some movement into your eyeballs. So you might be looking up with the eyeballs, looking down, side to side. Just having a bit of movement of your mouth, checking that you're not clenching your jaw. Just let the tongue be soft in your mouth. And then coming down to the neck, we're going to just roll on the back of the head from side to side. So you might work that with the breath. As you inhale, let the head roll to one side. As you exhale to the other. Just a couple like that. Let the shoulders be nice and soft away from your ears. And then come back to what you feel is neutral for you. Bringing awareness down the arms into the wrists and the fingertips as maybe you start to roll through the wrists. Have a wiggle of the fingertips. You might expand the fingers out as wide as they can go and then clench them closed into little fists. And you might want to pop your feet to the earth for this. Let's see how you go. As we breathe in, we're just going to sweep the fingertips up towards the sky or maybe back behind us. And as we breathe out, we feel the arms soften back down by the side of the body. So take a couple more like that, just starting to wake up into that upper body. Get a nice stretch from hip all the way through the armpit to the fingertips. Next time the arms are back down, let's leave them there. Step your feet hip distance, approximately. And as you breathe in, we're going to lift the heels away from the earth, push into the balls of the feet or the toes. As you breathe out, drop the heels back down. So just continue slowly like that. Feel the impact that has on your legs and up into your glutes, maybe even into your lower back. And then let's switch it. So then as we breathe in, we push into the heels, we lift and splay the toes. So take them nice and wide. As we exhale, the sole of the foot comes down. Just repeat that a few more times. You can often kind of overlook simple stretches and working with the extremities. And plant the feet back down onto the ground. Let's bring the knees in towards the chest. Catch hold of whatever works for you here. And start to open up through the hips by holding onto the kneecaps and rolling the legs away from each other and then back in towards each other. So think about making circles through your hip sockets here. So knees roll away and then back. Just nice and steadily, so there's no rush. There's more to experience when we slow things down. Switch the direction. So staying with that steady breath as we start to move the body. And then you might have a little shake out of the arms and legs. Bless you. You might have a little tap down or a little squeeze of any areas. You might have a nice full body stretch. So just imagining that we're starting now, that process of reawakening. Yawning is normal. And it's up to you. You could roll to the side and then push yourself up to a seat or bring the knees in towards you. Catch the backs of the thighs and just have a little roll up and down the spine. And then eventually find yourself in a seated position. If we can, we'll go for Sukhasana with our legs crossed. You could always sit on the edge of something just to drop the hips. Grab that left hand down as you breathe in, right fingertips come to the sky. As you breathe out, right fingertips go over to that left side. You can walk the left hand away. Trying to keep the knees nicely splayed open and the front of the body nice and open. So adjust to what your body needs. Just feel it out. Let's take it over to the other side. So just nice and slowly. You might feel like there's more space on one side of the body than the other side. Nice, steady breaths. And let's come back to center. We're going to do one thing with the arms that is going to open up through the back, so kind of draw the back open, and then a separate thing that's going to open up through the chest. So our first one, we're going to take right arm over left arm, so kind of inner and outer elbow meet. From here, you might take hold of opposite shoulders. You might wrap the arms, bring the palms together, backs of hands, thumbs, whatever you can manage. But then we want to draw the elbows away from us and lift them slightly. So there's an active squeeze and an opening to that upper back. You could just gaze ahead, or you might close the eyes. Keep the spine nice and long. So just be mindful of that lower back. Steady breath will help. Of course, if you need to, then you could absolutely release. I'm going to see if we can take about 30 seconds here. Keep a little bit of an active squeeze and a draw away and a lift of those elbows in line with the shoulders. But again, you know your body, so what does it feel like? Is it too much or too little? Nearly there. Nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, unravel. Just reach the fingertips down to the ground. Drop the chin to the chest. Shoulders soften. Lift the gaze and let's take it to the other side. Left over right. Maybe it's opposite shoulders. Maybe we're wrapping and twisting. It's not unusual to have one side that behaves differently to the other. Draw the elbows away from your body, lift them in line with the shoulders as best you can, squeezing the arms together. Just find that soft gaze, find steady breath. And that kind of point where you feel that there is something happening, but you're not pushing it too far. So in Yin, we call it the edge. So it's like, you know, we're approaching the edge of the cliff. We're not going to just run and jump off it, but we're aware that it's there. Going to go for another 30 seconds here. Keep the spine nice and tall. Nearly there. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, unravel fingertips to the air, soft shoulders, chin to chest. Just take a breath. And for the next one, we're going to come into a kneeling position. So if your knees are sensitive, you could pop your blanket underneath them. You could kneel with the bolster in between the legs, or you could pop some blocks just underneath your bum. So somewhere where there's a nice tall spine. And even though we're focusing on upper body, of course, we're still doing something with the lower body. We've just been in Sukhasana, now we're kneeling. We're going to use our strap for this one. So just unravel your strap. Take it in half and then halve it again. And we'll take it in the right hand. We're holding the top of the straps. We've got all of this free strap to work with. Let's sit nice and tall, just drawing the belly button in slightly. As we breathe in, we take the right hand up to the sky. We breathe out, bend the elbow, drop the strap down the spine. We'll sweep that left hand round, tuck it as far as we can behind the back. So sometimes it's a bit of a shuffle game. Taking hold of the strap. Try and keep the gaze forward. So we can kind of compensate by doing something like that, but we want to keep the gaze forwards. If you've pushed your ribs forwards and you're coming into a back bend, let's draw the belly button back, sit nice and tall. Find a gazing point or close the eyes. You might have found your kind of limit where you are, or over the course of the next 30 seconds, it might be that you can tuck those elbows a little bit further behind your back. So it's for you to play with. This is opening right up into the chest. Nearly there. As you exhale, start to unravel. Just release the hands down towards the earth, chin to chest, soft shoulders. Take a breath. So we're just taking that moment of recovery. Let's lift the gaze. Go over to the opposite side. Again, perfectly normal that we don't have the same reaction. For me, this side is super tight. So we'll hold in left hand, breathe in, reach to the sky, find some space. Breathe out, bend that elbow. Right hand comes behind, nuzzle in the elbows as far behind the head and the back as you can. Gaze is forward, draw the belly button back into the spine. So we're sitting nice and tall. Just unclench the jaw if you notice that you're kind of like, Urgh. Steady breath. Just finding whatever your edge is. Nearly there. Breathing in, as you breathe out, unravel. Just leaving the strap to the side, fingertips down, chin to chest. Just breathe in there. Oh, well done. As we inhale, we're going to lift the chin up towards the sky, keep the arms soft. As we exhale, just drop chin to chest. Just one more like that in your own breath. And then we'll find our way into tabletop. So already in a kneeling position, you might just need to reshuffle. Again, support your knees with your blanket if your knees feel like they need that. As we breathe in, the belly drops, the heart opens. And as we breathe out, spine to the sky, chin to the chest, cat and cow. So just continue with your own rhythm of breath. Great for the spine, nice for the neck. Find neutral, tuck the toes, push the seat back to the heels, get a nice stretch into your feet. You might stay here, so in like a little bit of an active child's pose, or if you've got the energy, lift the knees, pop the bum up towards the sky, full body stretch as we take the feet hip distance or wider in downward facing dog. You might have a little bit of movement here. Let's pop the knees down, come back into tabletop. Hands stay where they are towards the top of the mat. We're going to start to walk the knees backwards. So the arms start to extend here. We've got hips and knees kind of roughly in line. We drop the elbows down, reach the fingertips forwards and lift the bum to the sky. So we come into our melting heart or puppy pose. So you could be quite active with the fingertips coming forwards. You can lift the elbows, that does make it quite intense. If you need to soften off, you might decide that actually you want to cross the arms and catch hold of opposite forearms or upper arms. We're going to take 2 minutes here. So there's plenty of time to kind of explore moments where you might be a little bit more active and reach, and then moments where you feel like, actually, just need to soften off. Make sure there's still space for breath in through the nose, so we're not squashing our nose onto the mat. Let the heart just collapse down towards the earth. Lovely. We've got 1 more minute here. It's not really an option that I use or teach that often. As long as you have no neck or jaw injuries, if you do, I would encourage you to stay as you are. If you don't, you could pop the chin onto the earth and the gaze will come towards the top of the mat. So just be kind of truthful about, does that feel okay? Or actually, do I really not like that? And I might adjust back to where I was. We've got 30 more seconds here. Let's look back down towards the earth if we've come onto the chin, and we're going to bring the body forwards and down onto the mat. Cross the arms, just let the forehead or the side of the face come onto your arms. Heels might kick out, or you might turn the toes outwards. If you feel you need a little wiggle of the hips, go for it. Just a little moment of recovery from that deep back bend. Let's keep hold of opposite elbows here. Tops of the feet come down onto the ground. And we start to shuffle our arms in towards us a little bit. So just stepping them in bit by bit. Maybe the elbows come underneath the shoulders and we get a nice lift to the chest. Maybe we need them to not come that far in. So you should feel just this little bit of squeeze and pressure through lower spine. You could take the hands forwards and just gently, it's like you're drawing your hips slightly forwards as you lift your heart. Try not to lift the shoulders and squash the neck. So we're pushing through the elbows in our Sphinx position. You might close the eyes or soften the gaze. We'll take 1 minute here. Then we'll have a different option here. If at any time you kind of feel like the spine needs me to back off or somewhere else in the body needs you to back off, then you can bring the arms forwards and that will lessen the back bend. So be truthful about how this one feels. If you kind of feel like, yes, enough here, then maybe you stay as you are. Another option is to bend the knees, soles of the feet show up to the sky. So for some people, you might find that squeezes your lower back a little bit more. Another option is to have the tops of the feet down and we slide the hands towards the corners, kind of out diagonal. Push through the bottom of your hand to lift your chest. So maybe we're lifting almost up towards the belly button, can feel that there's more of a squeeze in the lower spine. Again, we're not letting the neck sink down or the shoulders lift up. So there's a push and a lift away into our seal position. Last few breaths here. With control, we lower down, slide the hands underneath the shoulders, just push ourselves up and back, relax the feet. We're going to come into child's pose. You could use a bolster if you wish. You could soften the arms down by the side of the body. So you've done a lot of upper body work. You find what version of child's pose works for you. If the answer is that that pose just doesn't work at all, then you might find a seated position. We're going to pause for a minute and a half. Maybe close the eyes, soften the brow, the jaw, the tongue in the mouth. Let the seat soften to the heels. The shoulders just draw back from the ears or wide from the ears slightly, maybe. Take about another 30 seconds here. Just trying your very best to stay present. So one of the things that sometimes is off-putting for people about slower classes is like this space that you have and things might pop up in the mind. You might have time to reflect a little bit more than when you're kind of banging out a flow class, or if you're, I don't know, lifting your weights and listening to your music. It's a different type of vibe. So just do your best. Let's start to find our way up to butterfly. So we'll come to sit on the bum. Then we'll take the knees out and bring the soles of the feet together. So we'll give upper body a little bit of a rest. We're still going to include some movement through the upper body, but we'll move a little bit into lower body. So from here, we could stay here if we wanted to, Or we could take that left leg just to the side slash behind us. Some of you have done this with me before. So that takes us into deer. The other option, which maybe you might want to try, because then we can do a little bit of an interesting twist as well, is to take that left leg back. So the hips are forwards. If we need it, we'll just pop a little bolster under that right bum. We can bring the right heel into the hip, or we can try and just extend that heel away a little bit. So this is our swan position. I always need to use a prop for this for my head. I'm going to take the right arm, slide it as far away as we can, and then bring the side of the head down to the earth. So support your head if you need to. With that left arm, you can just relax it. It might come forwards, it might go out to the side. So taking it into a twist with that little bit of work through upper body and nice bit of work through lower body. If you're in deer, you could have a similar option there. Just rolling that right arm under. Try and keep that right foot a little bit active, a little bit of a flex. Left foot, the top of the foot is pressed down into the ground. We're going to take about another minute here. So in whatever position you are in. Softening into the parts that you can. First, we start to unthread. Plant the hands down. We're looking to the earth for the moment, and then you're in control of this. So pushing through the hands, we start to lift the chest. You might walk the hands in line with that front knee and just dip the hips down as you lift the heart forward. So again, you feel a little squeeze maybe through your lower spine. Try and keep the neck nice and long. Let's roll it over to that right side. Sweep the back leg forwards. We're going to extend both legs forwards from here. You might have a bolster and just place it on your thighs and let yourself fold forwards and soften the toes. You might have a bolster and pop it on the ground and let yourself fold forwards, or you can just let your head be heavy. So we'll take a minute here. Just kind of hanging out and letting everything soften. And as you breathe out, you might find that you come a little bit closer to the earth. Or there are little parts of your body that just loosen up. Last few breaths here. Almost reluctantly, just rolling yourself back up. Let's pop the bolster to the side, find our way back into butterfly as we take it over to the other side. So our right leg comes to the side this time, and we might decide that we're going to be here or taking the right foot back. Again, you can always pop something just under that left bum cheek. Hips are nicely forwards. And we start to come down and take our thread. Left arm reaches away, right arm might reach forwards or just relax. Side of the head or face to the earth or maybe onto a block. Just reaching and threading under as far as you feel your edge will allow. Oh, trying to keep those hips nicely turned forwards. Let's take that minute and a half here. Just over 30 seconds to go. You might feel that you are just in that nice juicy position where you need to be. You might feel like there's a little bit more space and movement and stretch that can happen, or you might need to just come back and back off a little bit. We slowly start to unthread, palms down. We're looking to the earth in the first instance, and then we push through the hands, walk them back. Hips are descending to the earth, heart is open. In the shoulders, soft away from the ears. Let's plant the hands down, tuck the right toes and just bring the knee closer in towards you. So then you can pop yourself into tabletop. And from here, we're going to have a nice stretch out into our downward facing dog. And our only kind of single movement that'll be not completely on the mat. Walk the hands in towards the toes. Soft knees. Your head is heavy. Maybe the backs of the hands are just dragging down onto the earth. In our ragdoll position. You might have a little sway from side to side. Absolutely nothing wrong with kind of working on a little bit of gentle extension through the backs of the legs, but you know, we're just mindful that we don't want to push it. Oh. Let's plant the hands down, walk ourselves back into our downward facing dog, bum to the sky. Drop down onto the knees. Bring the knees and the insides of the feet together. Toes are on the mat. As we walk ourselves back, we can sit tall, bring the heels so they're touching, or we might feel like we can sit the bum down, just get the baby toe involved. You could sit onto a block. Spine is nice and tall. Maybe you close the eyes or gaze forward. So we're just going to take 30 seconds here. Find your version of. Keep drawing the heels together. Your body's quite clever and it will start doing things that's like, oh, I can make this a little bit easier for myself. Bring the hands down to the ground, uncurl the toes. Either just leave them to rest and let that dissipate for a moment, or you could give your feet a little tap. And then sweeping the feet round to one side. And we're going to make our way down onto our mat. So have a little sip of your drink if you need it. There is, as always, some essential oils. So if you want to just use a little bit of that, give yourself a little bit of a massage. And we'll have our strap available to us when we come down onto the mat, but there's no rush. Just taking in the smell and then maybe the sensation, just giving yourself a little massage. Oh, sorry, Kirsty. So gather everything that you might need for Shavasana. We'll use our strap just for our final positions. And then when you're ready, let's come down onto our backs, feet to the earth, knees to the sky. Just perhaps take a nice deep breath there. Oh, well done. So we're just going to finish off with a little bit of leg extension. If you were here last week, then we did a little bit of leg to the sky. We're going to just mix that up slightly with bringing hip opening into it. So taking hold of your strap, we want one end in each hand. Let's bring the right knee in towards us. You might need to lift yourself off the mat slightly to take the strap around the arch of your foot. And slowly start to extend that foot up towards the sky. So our shoulders are down on the earth, our elbows are down. We might have a full leg extension. We might have a bend in the knees. And then we're going to take both parts of that strap in the right hand. Place the left hand onto your left hip. So we're just kind of feeling that left hip is directing itself up towards the sky. That's where we want it to stay. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, start to let that right leg open to the right side of the body. The toes are still curling back in towards you. Your right elbow might meet the earth as you take that leg wide. If you're near a wall, you could absolutely rest the foot up against a wall. And you might keep the left foot down onto the ground just for a little bit of support. You might slide that left leg long, flex that left foot, still keep that left hip pointing to the sky. We're going to take 1 minute here. So you find your version of, the more we kind of push the heel away and turn the toes back in towards us, the greater extension we're getting through the back of the leg. Try not to clench the teeth too much or scrunch the face or shoulders. So it can be quite a tricky opening, but takes patience, practice. Halfway there. Last couple of breaths. Let's pop the left foot back down as an anchor if we've extended it. And as we inhale, we draw that right leg back in. As you exhale, release the strap, pop the foot to the earth. From there, you might decide that you need to bring both knees in, you need to extend both legs away, or you just want a moment of stillness or something else. And let's slowly set ourselves up for the other side. So we bring the soles of the feet down. Left knee comes in towards us. Taking the strap around the arch of the foot and slowly extending that foot to the sky. So we start there, just feeling into that. Both straps then come into the left hand. Just feel out where that right hip is. So the body here might try and compensate by kind of taking the whole of the body over as we open the leg. We want to keep that right hip and the bum cheek down. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're drawing that left leg open to the left. Maybe the left elbow comes to rest on the earth. Turn the toes back in towards you if that feels okay. And that other option of extending your right leg away, watch where the hip goes, flex the foot. If it's too intense, just draw back. Minute and a half on this side. Trying to soften into our upper body as we work on just expanding through the lower body a little bit. Last few breaths. Let's start to anchor down with the right foot. And as we inhale, draw that left leg in. As we exhale, release the strap. Just chuck it out to the side. Part both feet down. Where do you need to go from here? And let's then plant the feet down onto the ground. You could sweep the arms out a little bit wider, almost tucking the shoulder blades under, back to the hands to the earth. Press down through your feet. Just let your bum shuffle to the left of your mat as your knees drop to the right of your mat. And you could lift your knees higher, stack them, take them lower, whatever you feel is right for you. The upper body stays nice and close to the earth. Let the head roll in the direction it finds comfort in. You might close the eyes or soften the gaze. We'll take a minute here. We're winding right down towards our rest. Slowly journey the knees and the head back to neutral spine. Take your time as you shuffle over to the other side. Knees drop down to the left. Adjust as you need to. Let the head just soften and roll. Maybe the eyes are starting to close, or you practice the slow blinking, softening of the face. Rolling back to neutral spine. Is there anything else that you're kind of craving here? Stretching out, drawing in, a squeeze, shake that before we settle down to our relaxation. Just take your time. And you might choose to relax on the back of the body, the side of the body. It might be with loads of props supporting you, or just you and your body. Just tucking the chin a little bit in towards the chest. So we lengthen through the neck. Letting the arms drift and drop to where they want to be. The legs, maybe the eyes close, or you find that hazy gaze up towards the sky. We end our practice just with a short part of Yoga Nidra, which is yogic sleep. And this is a body scan. So there's nothing that you need to do. You might follow the sound of my voice and the journey that we take around the body. You might be offering it rest or thanks, or just reminding each part of your body to be present. Just let yourself drift as best you can into relaxation. And our journey begins at the crown of your head. Crown of the head. Down into the forehead and the space between the brows. The right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, the right temple, the left temple, the right eye, the left eye, the right ear, left ear, right nostril, left nostril, the tip of the nose, the upper lip, lower lip, chin, jaw, throat, the right shoulder and the left shoulder, the right upper arm, the left upper arm, the right and left elbows, lower arms, right and left wrist, all of the fingers and the thumbs. Awareness of your spine as it settles to the earth. So all the way from the neck down to the tailbone. The right and left glute. The right and left thighs. Kneecaps and the backs of your knees. The right and left lower legs. Ankles. Heels. And the tip of each toe. The whole of your body, the face, the head, the arms, the legs, just softening into the air. Nothing else it needs to do. What's important now is that it rests. The whole of your body is resting. A steady breath just guiding you through your rest. Nothing else to do but rest. Nothing else to do. Perhaps you take a deep breath or just journey awareness back to your breath. Release anything you don't want to carry into your weekend. And very slowly, you start to become aware of your body, maybe the parts that are called to move. Just take your time. Bring in a little bit more movement into the body. And stay close to the earth, almost like you're just lulling over in bed. You just roll to the sides that you feel drawn to and take a little pause there. Slowly push into the air. Start to rise upwards. Find your comfortable seat. Soft base, rock shoulders, tall spine. Maybe we'll close the eyes and just take a couple of breaths to come round and just a couple of breaths to just be here before we rush away into our weekend. And if you wish, you could place the hands onto the heart or press the palms together. And we seal our practice just with a single Om. So you don't have to chant, you could hum, you could just listen. We'll take a breath in a moment, and as we breathe out, we'll Om. Inhale. Om. Breathe in. Breathing out, maybe just bowing to yourself, thanking yourself for being here on a Friday evening, body, breath, mind, spirit, and soul, if that's your belief. Thanking each other for sharing part of our Friday evening together. And of course, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you have a lovely weekend filled with whatever you need. The light and dark in me honors the light and dark in me. Namaste.